Hey guys, this is Kyle from Frontlines Airsoft Coalition, and today I'll be giving you an update, or not really so much of an update as more of just a kind of preview of a new high-speed gearbox I'm building for my MP5. So we didn't put out as many videos as we would have liked to have at the beginning, and hopefully that'll change soon. We might have some gameplay footage from this upcoming weekend if we decide to attend the war. We should also have some gun reviews coming up soon too. Anyways, enough with that for now. Let's take a look at what you came here to see. Alright guys, so here are some of the parts I've decided to start out with to explain the high-speed build. So let's start with the spring. What we have here is a ZCI M120 spring. It will be firing around 400 FPS I think, which is about 50 FPS above what I'd like it to be at for my indoor CQB arena. So keep it under 350. I'll show you how I'm going to correct that problem in a second. What we have next is a Arma version 2 ball bearing spring guide, steel. Picked it up at my local store for $8. Works pretty well so far from what I can tell, but I haven't really put it through like a strong enough build to really test it out much yet. So there we have that. Next, I have the SHS 15 tooth piston. It's been Swiss cheesed, AOE corrected, and I'll explain how I'm going to lower the FPS now. So what I did was I short stroked the rack and the sector gear, cut off one tooth from each of them. Hopefully that should fix the problem enough, like lower the FPS enough to bring it down to 350. But if it doesn't, I'm gonna have to take off another tooth, two teeth from each. So if that doesn't bring it down, we'll go for a third, but I'm confident that should be good. What we have for the piston head, this is just an ICS ball bearing head. I've used it a little bit. Seems to have fairly good compression from what I can tell, better than any of my stock piston heads. Alright guys, so moving on these next two parts, I have a reinforced cutoff lever. I'm pretty sure it's made by ZCI, might be Lonex, not sure, but that's pretty self-explanatory. Need a reinforced cutoff lever for a high stress gearbox. And then this one isn't so much needed, but it's very nice. Let's see, Lonex AR latch for version 2 gearboxes. I could just use a stock one, I guess, but this one, what I like about it is it doesn't really try to pop out of the box when you're closing it, so you don't really have to clamp it down or anything like that. So it's just easy to work with from what I know so far. I've only used it a couple times. Alright, next here we have some compression parts. We have the cylinder here. This is the stock cylinder that came with the gun. It's ported for a 230 or 240 millimeter, I can't remember, barrel, so the port's not really far back. And I did upgrade the barrel to 363 millimeters, so I'm pretty sure I want to get a new one. It actually, honestly, it works fine with this. I've used it a few times. Not with my high-speed gearbox, but with the old gearbox, and it was shooting fine. Didn't really notice a difference. So yeah, I might upgrade that. Next, we have our ZCI. It's a cylinder head. What I like about it is it has the 2 O-rings right there as opposed to 1, so you're just getting better air seal. The thing I don't like about it is the little holes that I guess kind of clip into the gearbox. They came way too tight, and I had to Dremel out. I don't know if you can see that, but I had to Dremel out a little bit of the hole to get it to fit. I also installed a scatter plot sorbo pad. Let's see, this is a 3/16 or 3/16 of an inch, I believe, 40 Duro, and I'm also going to be getting a neoprene pad to put on top of it as an extra buffer. So that should be arriving in the mail soon. So what we have next is, here's the stock. This is the stock air nozzle that came with the gun. No O-ring, no nothing. But the thing I noticed, and I didn't notice this until after I ordered that MP5 air nozzle, which I was an idiot not to check out to see like if it was the correct air nozzle. But this is almost, if you can kind of see that it's more of an M4 air nozzle, a little over 21 millimeters. This one is pretty short. I'll compare them. You can kind of tell, yeah, you can tell the difference like just by setting them next to each other. So I did order an M4 nozzle. Hopefully that should be here soon too, and hopefully it works. They both have a very slight taper at the end. You can kind of tell on video, not really, but yeah, slight taper. So I ordered an M4 nozzle with the same specifications. So hopefully that gets here soon, and hopefully it works. Alright guys, so moving on to the box, I have the reinforced Lonex version 2 gearbox. It has I'm using the 8mm ball bearings for now that it came with. I'm going to be using them for a little while until I might upgrade the spur gear and get bushings for that, as why I recommended. I will also be using the tape plate that came with the box. And here are the stock screws that came with that. I have some of them in now to hold the gears in place. Pretty nice shim job right now. But I also ordered these reinforced screws, so I'm going to be using those. Might put some thread lock on also. Alright guys, so now we're going to move on to what actually makes this a high-speed setup. We'll get to the motor later, as you can see here. But first let's start with the battery, the MOSFET, and well, yeah, we'll start with that. So I don't have the battery or the MOSFET with me. The battery is an 11.1 lithium polymer battery with a 35 to 70 C discharge rating, or C rating. Yeah, let's see, 2200 milliamps. So it's going to last a while before you have to recharge it. It's made by, let's see, Nanotech Turnigy. I think that's the brand. Ordered it from hobbyking.com. Let's see, as far as the MOSFET I'm getting, I'll have the Apex Python version 2 drop-in MOSFET, and it comes with a polyfuse. The idea behind a MOSFET is it's going to redirect most of the current to the motor rather than the trigger contacts, so you're less likely to fry them out. Just an overall good setup if you're planning on running a 11.1 lithium polymer battery like I'm planning on doing. Another aspect that's going to make this gun, or it's going to give this gun a good rate of fire, is the bearings I'm using. Actually, I'm using them over bushings. It's going to give it a slightly higher rate of fire, even though they're not quite as trusty as bushings are, more likely to fail, but they sure work nice when they are working right. So as we have right here, you can see the motor. I got the Lonex A1, 40,000 rotations per minute. It's a balanced motor, which means it also has, or it's balanced between speed and torque. Although 40,000 rotations per minute, that's the same as the A3, which is like meant for speed. Yeah, that's the speed motor. And then it also can pull back as strong of a spring as the A2. You can see there, it can pull up to an M170 spring. They have the same recommendations, same available. They're the top two. So this one just has higher speed, same torque, I guess. So yeah, so that's gonna be my high-speed setup. I'm sorry if I sounded like a noob when it came to wiring, motors, batteries. I'm not as good with the electrical appliances. I'm still trying to figure them out. Definitely, please leave comments. I need to figure out errors, if I'm making errors. I want this to come out right. It's my first like actual high stress build, first real build actually. Don't want to fail using some pretty expensive parts. I'm just hoping it all comes together nicely. So please leave those comments, definitely. Yeah, so also don't forget to like and subscribe. And tune in next time. We should have some gameplay footage and reviews coming up soon, so look forward to those.